close it, we're going to hold it in place. When it's dry and fully stuck down to this, you should, in theory, be able to separate the magnets and open it with one on one side and one on the other. That's the theory. Practice may be different. Hey guys, it's Jamie here, and I'm still working on the Scrap Buster journal. I've seen something on Roxy Creations 100-day challenge that I think fits the journal as one of the pieces that can go inside the journal, which is a Trifold Notebook. So I thought we'd give that a go with some of these scraps and see if we get any further in busting down my pile of scraps. And then I've got this paper here, and I've actually got two pieces of it, which I thought would make quite a nice notebook cover. Well, I suppose I could go 20 and then go 10. Yeah, maybe do that and have less of a lap over. Try not to go too hard on this score. I tend to be a bit vicious with my scoring. Let's circle this off at the corners. I'll go with a 7. Maybe I will take this down, but I'm going to do it on a 4, so it's different to that one. So it's a little curve rather than a big one. The prompts I was working with were roses, lace, fairy and butterfly. I'll probably run some lace along this edge because that's the bit that's coming over, and I think to close it we're going to use a magnet, but we could also decorate this cover a little bit with some of this scrap that I have. Oh, and we'll need to find some papers for the inside. Get some papers out. I think we just need something central over that blank bit. I've got all the rose stickers somewhere. Too many roses? What about we don't use that bit and we use some scraps around this and bring that over. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I just want to edge a few things, so I'm not going to edge the sticker because I haven't in any of this journal, but I am going to edge this in pink and this in vintage photo. I want that page a bit darker. I will brush over that with the vintage photo. Okay, I will stick these bits down. I do have my bunch of words from my scrap pile. Dream big, filled to overflowing. Weird words in here. I was going to line that with black, but I don't know that I will. I might just literally edge it. I don't know if that needs like a little something along that edge. I'll put the lace on, and then when that's dry we'll put the papers in. To put the lace down I will use the Fabri-Tac. Just need to line that up a little bit better because I'm doing that at a distance. I can't always see how everything's lining up. Right, when that is dry we will put some papers in. These are from that book that we used, as you can see. It's got an illustration page there. Don't think that matters. It's going to need cutting down. Is everything going to need cutting down? Yeah. Cover is now dry, so just trim that lace up. As a cover, it's only really a strong paper, but then it is only a notebook. I'm just wondering if you should make the cover a bit thicker by just quickly patchworking over the inside with some scraps. Put down some napkin, add an extra layer to it. Just using a little bit of Mod Podge then. Throw some napkin down. What I've also decided to do, and it will help with the scrap pile, is add a bit of paper card, semi-card stock to the very edges of the notebook to strengthen up the edges. A bit of a sticky patch there. Hasn't made that super stiff, but it has decorated it. Tempted to add something else just to give it a bit more strength again. So it's got a couple of layers on there. We're going to put that fairy on the back there. That's dry, so it can be trimmed up now. For a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, I've gone to the halfway point on the cover and marked that off with a little black dot there. And then either side of that hole, I've gone 5 centimetres, which is about 2 inches. But obviously the measurements are just appropriate to whatever size you are working with. And then with an awl, you just poke a hole through on those 3 points. So there you have your 3 holes on that one. With these papers that I've got, that I was cutting earlier, I've put them together. So I don't know how many pages we've actually got. 6. So there's 6 pages. So that's 24 sides of paper. And again, this time, taking the longest of these, measure it again, go to the halfway point. So with this one, it's 6. And then from the halfway point, go 5 either side. Get them where we want them. Make sure they're fully in. Some people even like to do a bit of a tap down. Clip them into place so they do not move. With the awl again, create 3 holes actually on the bend. So sometimes it's actually easier to do it when you actually bend the papers, because otherwise I tend to go a bit off. I have a wide-eyed needle. I have some wax thread. You can use normal thread, and you're going to go for 3 times this width. So 1, 2, 3 through the papers, the center, through the cover at the center. Pull the string through. I try to catch the end with my thumb. Then we go down to the cover, bottom hole or top, it doesn't matter which way you go. And get everything aligned again, because I've just moved everything. Then we go past that center hole and go to the top hole. Pull everything up into place, hold that, pull it tighter. And then what we do is we come up through the center hole. What we're trying to do is come the other side of this thread. So this one's this side, we want to come the opposite side. That one's this side, that one's that side. So now you are either side of that central string, and now you simply knot it. Knot it one way, reverse it back if you want, knot it the other way. I tend to knot it 3 times. I think most people knot it twice. As you can see, 3 lengths is ample. Cut that off there. And now you have a notebook and a cover, and the only other thing is to get it to close. Normally I just stick a bit of ribbon around things, but I thought this time we'll do a magnet. With the first one, I'm going to get a bit of strong glue. I've got Uhu. As you can see, it runs this one. what a mess. See if I can get some of that glue up. Right, until that dries, we will leave that, and then we've got to stick one on that's going to meet that so it can close. What I will do though is just put a bit of talc over this sticky area. I'll alcohol wipe it off the magnet, but I don't want a load of stickiness on paper, and the talcum powder or the baby powder takes it completely off. As soon as that's really secure, we'll do the other one. Now that's dry, we've put the second magnet on top of the first one that's stuck down, which is pretty easy to do because they attract to each other. And then we will put hopefully a slightly smaller spot of glue on there. I want that to go a bit tacky, and I will wait a moment. When we close it, we're going to hold it in place. When it's dry and fully stuck down to this, you should, in theory, be able to separate the magnets and open it with one on one side and one on the other. That's the theory. Practice may be different. I am going to hold that in place and show you where this is going to go in the journal, because I've pre-prepared that while things were drying. As you can see, I just glued some things down. This was from a kit that we've already used for the, I think it was the centre spread. Was it the centre's pages that had those? Yeah, those envelopes in those pockets, and it's from the same kit as that, and the paper that was used on the notebook, the spare paper. So I've put those two together. Our portable Trifold notebook hopefully is going to fit in this pocket, because if it doesn't, we're going to have to make another pocket. Please, please, please. Ooh, just, but that's quite nice that it's snug, as long as things don't get pulled up on the cover. There we go. So now you have quite a nice spot for that notebook. I'm going to see if that's going to be willing to open yet without pulling everything apart. Yes, it is. So there we go. That's your magnetic closure, and that's where it's going to sit. That is another piece of ephemera done for this journal.